It's time for the Hockey Writers Grindline, a weekly show covering everything Detroit Red Wings. Brought to you by our own iconic top line of Wings writers. Sit back and enjoy The Grind.
Welcome to the Hockey Writers Grindline. I'm your host, Patrick Brown. Joining me, as always, are Devin Little and Kyle Knopp. But that is not why you are watching this episode today, because we have the man, one of the reasons for our namesake, Stanley Cup champion, Detroit legend, musician, comedian, author, and all-around great guy. Please welcome the one and only Darren McCarty. Darren, thank you so much for joining us tonight. How are you?
I'm good. I still got all four, so we're good.
Oh, good. So we will dive right in. We've got so many questions. We're looking forward to picking your brain on present, on past, and again, appreciate you taking some time out. So let's talk about the present right now. We'll start with that. The Red Wings obviously struggling in rebuild mode. From your perspective, having been on some of the best teams ever, what's it like to see that? To see this team struggling? How does that tug at your heartstrings, or is it just part of the game and you see it and move on?
No. All of us, and it doesn't matter who it is that have previously worn the red and white, have passion and want to see this ship get right. And like I tell everybody, if I go to March 26, 97 as Red Wing D-Day, because that's, if you look back in hindsight, what sparked, and I've told you guys before, it's a proverbial, it's going to be all right. Don't know what it means. It's going to be all right. That was the first one. The second one, I had the same feeling come over me was Steve Yzerplan was introduced 2 years ago as general manager and president. It's the Yzerplan. Like, just, you guys are all seeing it. I mean, I get online and I talk everybody off the edge, but you guys tell me that, because I understand, because it's a younger generation, but now you're going to go through the same thing, because this is what I've noticed. And he's not only succeeded as the player he was, but look at what he's done. Mm-hmm. Tutelage for 4 years under Kenny Hall and put that Tampa Bay team together. Now, if you watch, and we've said all along that if you watch this Detroit Red Wings team, how he's gone about it, I look at the roster now and see who are Holland guys, who are Yzerman guys. But he's doing it, and the thing about Steve Yzerman, he's so self-aware, and he knows the temperature of the room, because he's doing it Tampa, but the game's evolved into a little bit what Joe Sakic's doing in Colorado. Mm-hmm. So, and you see Colorado's really close, but he's just, that's what you do. You just look to people that have done it well and try to capitalize on that and maybe do it a little bit better.
Absolutely.
So looking back like a week ago or so, I don't know if you remember this, but Stevie Y kind of flipped the tables on a beat writer and had them name their top two picks in this year's draft. And I saw that you had said something. Yep. And you had said something along the lines of, this is how he answers my questions. And we won cups together. So
yeah, exactly. Right. You got the real Steve Yzerman. You got the real Steve Yzerman right there, which is like, ask a dumb question and he will make you feel it. So I thought it was Answer Khan who asked the question. So there's a lot of history there. So again, don't ask Steve Yzerman. And if you listen, he'll tell you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he'll tell you, sorry.
No,
he'll tell you if you listen closely enough. I mean, I interviewed him last week on my WJR show, and just the fact that now they got the picks, but they got to make good picks with them. And it's one of these things that you see it's paying dividends. You look at what Moyd Sider did this year, Lucas Raymond. You see Joe Peleno when he stepped up into the NHL. He didn't look out of place. So that answers the same question as Jeff Blashill the right guy for the job? Absolutely. And I'll revert back to the first question. First one, when he deserves it. But right now, and he told you, he said, hey, if these guys pan out, it was my decision. If not, it's Drapes'. So Drapes will take the ring. Always comes back to the grind line, boys.
Love it. Love it.
That is awesome.
Always
That
comes
is
back
awesome.
to the grind line.
So you joined kind of in the middle of Yzerman's career, but do you see any similarities between Larkin and a young Yzerman now that Larkin is wearing the C?
Well, I see a lot of the leadership abilities and stuff like that, and the human being aspect. And I relate to it. I see it as, because I grew up Steve Yzerman when I was 10 years old and stuff like that, being from Leamington and stuff. So watching his career and seeing it, and it's one of these things is that Dylan's not doing anything that he's not supposed to be doing. And as I tell Dylan, and I keep saying every time, is that when you're ready to give yourself a break, it's, you're your worst critic, and he wants it so bad and he knows, but he's the right guy for it. Just don't, the expectations is Dylan Larkin, when he is the player and the leader, I think his leadership right now is above what his player will be, but they're both 5 stars. He'll get there. And who else would you rather have him learning under Steve Yzerman? So the fact that Stevie named him captain when he did, we all see the same things, all us alumni guys and whatever, when it's in such great hands. And, it's a culture, and it's not just him, but he's like Stevie, but then there's his grind line, and there's his, Glenn Denning and different things like that, where there's guys that are there that are the part of the culture that he draws from.
Sure.
So it's like king of the castle, man. He's the king, and then we're all servants in some way, and we all get, that's all it is. Then we get all the toys.
Yeah. to the victor, to the victor go the spoils,
Exactly.
right?
So the victors, the spoils, the booze, the halls, everything, whatever you want. Whatever makes whatever floats your boat.
Literally, it could be a boat. Literally,
Maybe.
So Darren, talking about the core with Larkin, with what we see is one thing. Talking about the prospects still playing in juniors that are going to have to adjust to life in the NHL someday, some sooner than others. Can you talk about that adjustment a little bit? What it's like to maybe be one of the premier players or whatever in juniors and have to adjust to the NHL?
Premier player. No, because I wasn't the junior player. Well, physically I was, but it wasn't about goals for me. So I knew I was just trying to be Robin to Proby's Batman. I knew that my style was something that I had a niche. Right. There was a niche, and if I could capitalize on it, it was mine. So I knew that because I knew the history, and that's what I love since the Dylan Larkin first day that I met him years ago, is just the history. He knows what Gordy, Ted, he knew those guys. He knows what it means and stuff like that. So I think the adjustments are different. I think what you saw, right, is what COVID allowed secretly is guys to develop, where the best thing is Seider went over to Sweden. So he got that AHL experience. He got so he actually did what baseball did, AA, and world championships.
Sure.
And he keeps excelling at each level and showing that Steve Yzerman trusts the Yzerplan gentlemen and ladies.
We will continue.
Now you say you're not a skill guy or weren't a skill guy in junior, but you did have 97
No, in junior
goals.
I was. Okay. It was gold. Right? Listen. Grind line trivia. Kirk Maltby had an unbelievable last year in junior, had 50 goals. Unfortunately, Darren McCarty had 55 and led the league.
Who's keeping track, though?
I got Malt so bent on that over the years that when I bring it up, he will finish my sentence.
Phenomenal.
So what is the thought process of someone that's used to being a skill guy at that junior level asking to become a role guy? You don't see role guys as much in the NHL anymore. They're different types of role guys as what you were when you played. But what's that mindset, that mentality for a young player coming into a league and having to completely change his game?
Yeah, well, let's change to today's game and use the physical play, the fighting, whatever. That I had that and that's where the beauty of the grind line that we could all finish.
Mhm.
Also, you can't teach scoring, but we could all find the net except Drapes because he'd be a 50-goal scorer if he's scoring breakaway. But anyways, I don't know. Most offside guy in the history of the league. When he says he's too fast, and if we don't head man the puck, then he's not tearing his groin. But it's the fact that we took more pride in shutting down and having to trust in Scotty to not allow, and then being able to be the supplemental scoring. Right? You look at that Islanders team right now. Yeah. Their top line is their third best scoring line. It's the supplemental guys, and it's always that way. You look at the fourth line getting a big tipping goal, for Vegas last night. That's playoff hockey, goaltending, lucky bounces, and also it's staying healthy. So, we're in good shape. I think it's guys, it's getting confidence together. You got to remember, we missed Bertuzzi for almost the whole year. So, I mean, he's going to be fresh and coming out the surgery. So, we're 100% behind these guys. At the end of the day, it's about the people. And you guys should all be proud. Wingfield, they should be proud of the guys who are trying to bring this back, not only the front office, but on the ice, because they're all great kids. And that's the thing that I'm most proud of. And I want them to win. Yeah. But I know that it's not when, it's just when.
Of course.
It is. It's just a matter of fact. It's one of those things. And why do I know that? Because I've been through it. I've experienced it with the same people in a different role, but I trust these people with the gold. You know what I mean? Like this is what they love to do. I love to talk to you guys and tell you how it's going as I'm driving up to the farm. You know what I mean? To make sure that all the medical patients are taken care of through the Darren McCarty brand. You got to get some CBD and stuff. So doing that's what my passion is. Going around the rinks and watch videos. Like, I mean, come on, man. I mean, that's like, I love the game. I love the Red Wings and I love the culture and stuff, but I'm about the people. And I just want to rekindle. I want everybody to know the why, so we can load that place up LCA and get it rocking and have that same effect that the fan base did when we won. We just celebrated 24 years, the first one up until 2008, which was the last one. So, hey, I'm glad I don't got to do it no more.
You just mentioned getting the fans back. This year was a weird one because for the most part, we didn't really have fans in the building. When you played at a very lovely place that we all know and love called Joe Louis Arena. Can you maybe share a story about the Joe that maybe the layman folk don't know?
Let's see. We used to go and so when they had I'll tell you. For the guys that smoked, underneath the thing, there'd be like a break room in that. But my first year, imagine this. It's like my first game at home or whatever like this. Between periods, I'm all excited. And I go back in the stick room and there's Proby and Ray Shepard, Steve Chase, on Mark Howell. They're all puffing darts. And you know what I'm saying? And there is different room, the guys. And it was just, it's amazing to look back and just see the difference of the culture and stuff like that. But the big thing was because so when I first started, we parked across and we used to have to walk across to the Joe, right? The parking lot, you walk through the fans and stuff, but then they put it on the north side. So you would know everybody in the bowels at the playoff time because they would be standing where they needed to be because we were superstitious. If we start going the right way and you go through the Olympic Club to the back door, or do you go, underneath the stairs? And listen, I don't know my way around LCA like I did Joe Louis Arena. So, but I'll miss that place. We all will, but I tell everybody, listen, we all had to put down our first pet. Doesn't mean we don't love it anymore or don't have the memories, but it's ours. I don't want anybody playing Pet Cemetery with my.
That is a fantastic analogy.
I appreciate it every now and then.
Let's take a quick time out, pay some bills really quick. Thank you for watching our show. Give us a like, subscribe to the Hockey Writers channel. There's so much good stuff on here. We love when you comment. We love engaging with you. Check out our other shows, Blackhawks Banter, Sabres Scoop, Chicks and Sticks, and always the OG show, the Hockey Writers Live with Mark Shegg. Follow us on Twitter, sign up for the morning newsletter, and follow Darren at Darren McCarty 4, and also check out at Woodward Sports. Make sure you give Darren a shout as well, because we're lucky to have him on tonight. So,
hey, I got a question.
Sure.
Saber Scoop. Where's Eichel going? Is he going somewhere? or will the draft choice keep him to stay there? Or what's the deal?
Well, I will take that as a note, and we'll ask the good folks over at Saber Scoop and see what they say.
Please,
and then we'll tag you on the response.
Please do that. I had to get my question in, and I knew you were the guy to ask. I wanted to know.
You know what? Anytime. Anytime you could text me, give me a call. We're cool. We're good.
I was just trying to make sure the accountability of like legitimate sports writers, you just didn't steal that from somebody, and you're just
no.
Right?
That's not how we roll. That is not how we roll.
Help you out here, bro. I think it's a great question.
Yeah,
I agree.
There's a couple things for the Red Wings in free agency, and I know the draft. Does the draft come before free agency?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I believe so too.
Yeah.
But don't quote me. But anyways, it's interesting because I always say, is this will pique my interest when either Stevie drafts, he's either gonna, and I don't know this, but it's just I'm breaking it down, is that we got 2 picks and it looks 22 is our second pick.
Yep.
Is if he really likes that goalie out of Edmonton that he thinks is the future, that starts my clock on he's gonna go get, that's his Vasilevsky.
Sure.
If not, then I look to see, does he sign a Dougie Hamilton, or does he go after a Seth Jones in a trade? Does he, or is it too soon? Me personally, I think these are all next year, but because of the progress of all the younger guys, this might have sped things up. I don't know if any of you guys have thought along those lines of when it comes to what the next moves are, but I'd love to hear your opinions.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're putting us on the spot. I'm happy to start. I didn't mean it like that, on the spot, but I think, there's money to spend this offseason for sure. And it's exciting to see that money to spend, because we haven't had it in years past.
Yeah.
There's always been saddled up against that cap. So to your point, Darren, it's almost anybody's guess. And I will say, I trust the Yzerplan all day, every day. So I think what I would say is I'm afraid to say anything, because if I say it, I bet you Stevie does the opposite.
Well, that's okay. But this is what I love, because you figured it out. It's so less stressful being on the Yzerplan.
That's right.
You get to guess. You can guess. I'm guessing, right? You notice I threw it out there, but I'm guessing. I'm usually wrong. That's how he usually treats it. But I see the breadcrumbs he throws down. I'm just,
sure.
It's so easy, less stressful, because it is the Yzerplan, and you don't have to question like another. Like as excited as we are as Lions fans, we still don't have proof in the pudding yet. So
it's true. Absolutely. Devin, you want to take a shot at, do we expect to see Eichel or anybody big splash in free agency this year?
I just want to say, it sounds like, or it seems like Darren reads our comments, because I'm pretty sure we got a question about this on our last episode. I expect Yzerman to spend some money. I'm not sure he's going to go on a spending spree. I mean, like we're all saying here, I trust his judgment one way or another. I would not be surprised to see him take on a bad contract again this season, and add some more future assets in the process. I think the expansion draft is going to be a big time to do something like that.
Now, do you see how you answered that question? He would he would respect that and go, well thought out, and exactly, and get out of my brain at night. You don't want to knew somebody's downloading my shit Matrix
geez.
style. I know I'm in the Matrix. I hate the blue and the red pill. So that was back in the day, boys.
Oh yeah.
No, because it's common sense. You would expect that, and if he does it, see, I'm just trying to. He's not holding this big secret playbook. He's doing the work, and his guys are doing the work, and it'll fall into place because that makes sense to me along the lines, unless his plan, like I said, is sped up. And sometimes our love of our teams and sports, when we see something, we get ahead of ourselves, and then that in the long term hurts us. Because I know this is when he gets this right, we're going to be back to only worrying about who we're playing first round of the playoffs. That's the grind line. We go to training camp worrying about getting ready for the playoffs. And that's just the mentality that we all had.
So I want to give Kyle a chance to answer your question before we flip it back to the grind line OG. So Kyle, your thoughts on which direction is the Yzerplan heading this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, we just recently released a post on an article on it last week on what we thought we were going to Yzerman was going to do with the 6th pick, and we all kind of came to different conclusions. And honestly, I could see any of them happening, but I would like to see him kind of move down, maybe get a few more assets, and then still go after one of those goalies, in the mid-teens, late teens round. But
give me Jesper. Give me Jesper.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
On your point for the free agency, though, I think we're just kind of too solidified on the right side defensively to go after a Dougie Hamilton or a Seth Jones. I'd love to have Jones. I think he's a phenomenal defenseman, and I think he's only going to get better once he gets out of Columbus. But I just think, we're really stacked on that right side, and we need to kind of lean to a left-handed shot. And I think that might be the play in the offseason.
That's a solid answer. Mac, your thoughts?
No, it's great answer. And that's it, because you have Hronek, you have Sider, you have, Stutch will probably be gone in the expansion draft, but you have a tight, solid right side. So, but again, creates competition, and that's what you want right now.
Absolutely.
Fight who's getting the ice time, who's getting what they need.
Absolutely.
I like your answer. It's a good answer.
Thank you.
Good stuff. All right. I want to flip back here, and Darren, I want to talk about our namesake, your line, what we all love to talk about, the grind line. And the first thing that I want to ask you is, when did you learn that the grind line moniker had become so important to the city of Detroit? When did you have that realization that it was so important to the city?
I think, the evolution of it during the playoffs in 97 or, when Joey started coming in it. And because you guys understand that there's 4 of us in the grind line, and they say, well, how there's only 3 in hockey, and it's because of the way Scotty used me. I was the start with set the tone, go play with Stevie and Sandstrom or Homer, but I play with Yzerman because freaking everybody knows that he couldn't get along without me. And then when he needed to shut down, he put me back on there late in the game and stuff like that. But what was so great is and I say Joey, the 3 biggest moves for us to get over the hump were Brendan Shanahan, Larry Murphy, and Joey Kosher. And Joey Kosher was so huge to the culture, and his nickname's Papa. But for us young guys, because he really latched onto us and he led us, and we got really close. We played golf all the time, Chinese poker, me, him, Dandy, and Tim Taylor watch the hockey games, and it's just something that, and his experience about how the impact and what we could be, and it was just the fact that that initially, and we just knew that because we knew we were special, different. Maltz and Drapes, 2 of the best, not only penalty killers, tandems, but pain in the asses while they played, and they needed to be protected. But Scotty was smart in the way that he he used me, kept me in my cage, then would have Joey there to growl at people, because Joey Coacher sitting on the bench is way more scarier than even him playing. So, I mean, and it's just, when did we realize? I think probably during the playoffs and just into 98, and just
Sure.
we I have a picture of my house of the four of us, just so it had to have been grind line out there already. But that, when you say to me, those are the things. I mean, for holy geez, like the production line, the French Connection. I mean, you say the grind line, you know what it is. And
Yep.
And I'm not, even though I've scored more goals than Maltz and won the highest scoring, I won the Player of the Year in the OHL. Individual stats don't mean anything without your team. So I like the Cups better, and I like being associated with those clowns.
That's now, did being on such a famed line, once it really kind of sank in, did that add any extra pressure? Did that give you extra motivation when you were preparing for
motivation? Always motivation, bro, because the grind line is the guy who's got to put 10,000 screws doing the same thing over and over, and then drags his ass out of bed, that punches the clock, that embraces the suck. That's what the grind line does. We'll embrace the suck. We'll block shots. We'll fight. We'll bleed. We'll do whatever it takes. And then every now and then, God will give us glory. And then sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But at the end of the day, it's for your brother next to you. And that's sort of the heartbeat. And we, it was between Drapes and Maltz, like energy and that it, the way that they could just inspire and with their energy. And we knew how integral it's like the body, right? Mm-hmm. You needed the head, you needed Lidstrom's head and Shanny's brawn and Stevie's skill and Sergei's speed and all this combined, but you needed the inner organs too. And I think that's where, and it's the relate, right?
Yep.
I always say it now that I'm alive because of the love of the people of Michigan, because that cannabis, the truth about it and the education and my journey. But it's, I always say the power, I'm a battery, you guys are my power. And so it's just I'm just doing everything I ever done. It's just, I'm doing it and having fun and not have to skate or have to work out or do shit like that.
And I think your analogy of punching the clock, getting up and putting in the 10,000 screws day after day, I think that's a fantastic representation of the city of Detroit as well, and kind of how they played off of seeing you guys go out there every day and get bloodied and bruised and come back ready to do it the next day. And I think that's, a big reason why Detroit really embraced you.
Well, there's a respect, right? It's that.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm not the most skilled guy, but you sure shit knows if I'm out there, I'm giving you everything I got. Now, some nights it wasn't that as much as other nights, and but you knew you were getting the effort. And I think that's no matter what you do, it's just something that. And as a fan, that's who I want to cheer for. Teams and people and stuff like that. And that's why we're still Wings fans. That's why it's Wing Wheel Nation. And we all love this player or love this team or love that. And it's cool because my love of the Wings isn't any greater than anybody else's. It's different. Just because I played, it's just different. So I told my son, Griffin, who's 25, is the head coach of the UCLA men's hockey team, Division II. And I told him, when he was younger, I said, listen, I hope you make it. I know you, but your love of the game is that if you love it, then it'll follow you and you'll love it. And he was able to, he loves the X's and O's, but he always did. He was always a kid playing with the hockey guys, putting them on making hockey rinks and doing all that stuff. So I could see it coming. I can figure out the why.
Awesome.
That's for all of us. If you know the why, and that's what I want you, and that's what you guys do. And that's what we do together.
Yeah.
Because it's reaching out to the ones that want to do the work. We're not here to argue. We're here for what do you mean by that? And what I mean by that is we got to get that LCA getting ready to go, or the TVs.
Heck yeah.
Remember the flags? Remember the flags on the car? You couldn't drive anywhere.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was like those bugs, those fish fly bugs that are all over. Like they were everywhere.
Mayflies.
Oh, man. But it was awesome. Drive the parade, everything else. That's what we're in for. It's not when, it's when.
We were in Chicago. That's where I grew up, and driving around with two on each side, and the looks that we got, let me tell you, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter. We were with Detroit in spirit, because that's where we're from. Sorry, Devin.
That's
Go
all
ahead.
right, bro. Calling it real. Staying true to the red and white. You had to,
You know it.
you had to
You know
show
it.
them. You had to show them. So I had to retire so that they could win. So you showed them how to celebrate.
I like it.
Absolutely.
I like
The backs,
So
boys.
That's right. Devin, you had one?
So you were.
Some people hate.
You're talking
Hey,
about the people in
some
Michigan.
people hate the truth. Remember that. Some people hate the truth.
Yeah, that's a
very
fact.
true.
Absolutely.
All right, sorry.
No, all good. Devin, sorry I interrupted. Devin, you there?
Do we lose Devin?
I think he's a little bit frozen right now.
No.
So technical difficulties. We will move forward. I'm sure he'll come back. Darren would be remiss if we didn't talk about March 26th, obviously, right? So when you think about March 26th, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
When you think about March 26th,
What year?
Every year.
well, we're not talking COVID. We'll go ahead. I'll throw out 97. Let's throw out 97. And when you think about March 26th, or see a turtle for that matter, what sticks out the most in your mind about that day, about that moment, about that glorious, glorious night at Joe Louis Arena?
Can you believe it went down like that?
Yeah,
I mean,
And how it started.
It had to.
It's-
it
you can't
it
write-
had to.
you
It
can't
had
write
to
a
go down that
script,
way.
You can't. No, but the way that it did, I didn't even
Oh, yeah.
get 5 minutes for fighting. I got 4 minutes for roughing, 10 minutes conduct to stay in the game to score the win. Like, if that's not a God shot, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm just saying is that, and the way it was set up, where Lariana and Forsberg sort of started, and I tell everybody, man, you just got to be willing. We had to win the game. That's the most important thing. It was team
Absolutely.
first. That's why I do something. So so when I think of that day, that to me, that's just D-Day. That's hindsight is where it began. And we can go back and tell the why of this game right here is why. Now you can go to do the Star Wars and go back and watch 1, 2, and 3. But this is 4. This is the first Star Wars. This is the New Hope or whatever, like that. The first one that was out in 77. But this is where it all starts. And then boom, boom, boom. And then it's all part of the story to get. And it's about resilience, and it's about sticking together. And the thing I remember the most is after scoring that goal and just that feeling that came out through my body is just, oh my God, it's going to be all right. I don't know what it means, but like, it was something surreal. It was surreal, and the feeling, it was this invincibility. And Shanny says in the Russian 5 documentary, psychological edge,
Mhm.
you know, and that's what we needed. So it explains why everything sort of fell into place.
I think we got Devin back, and I want him to ask a question, but I have a quick question that you just brought up. Was that goal, do you feel that goal to you is more important than the Stanley Cup clinching goal?
Absolutely. Chronological, man.
Yeah.
It's history.
There's
It's
no
gotta
Stanley
come-
Cup goal without that goal.
And it doesn't have to be mine. We had
But
to
it
win the
should be.
game.
Sure.
No,
Sure.
Well, the way that it played out just makes a storybook, and it gets me traveling around talking, 24
Love
years
it.
later about this.
Love
shit.
it.
Right? No, but because it that's the Hollywood God shot. That's the story, right? But
Yeah.
no, the point is we had to win the game. So if I didn't score the goal, but we won the game, it's the same. Just personally, it's not as impactful and, like that. But I still think the people buy those pictures. So they don't buy me scoring those goal pictures. They buy me fighting, beating the shit out of Cloud Mew pictures, which I believe should be in every household and establishment in Michigan and wherever else they deem fit.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Working
I
on
mean, I've had that photo, I think, since '98, and it's traveled with me from my many houses in Michigan to Baltimore to back, and now here in Maryland, and I, it's one of my favorite memories.
Well, that's good. You didn't say 96, bro, because then I would have called bullshit. That happened yet.
Yeah,
Or you got some time traveling shit going on there.
That's funny. Devin, we got you back. You back?
I hope so. Yeah. Am I good?
A little choppy, but we'll make it work.
All right, cool. So speaking of the people of Michigan, right? I am from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and there was that 07, 08, yep. Where you played for my Grand Rapids Griffins. And let me tell you from
they're my Grand Rapids Griffins.
Yes.
There are
Fair enough, yes.
They're our.
I like
share.
it. There you go. You got to share, Devin.
Oh no, we might have lost him again.
And you scared him away, Max. We talk about Lemieux, and then you go after him, and this is what happens.
Grand Rapids holds a special place in my heart. I still do a lot of stuff over there, the people over there, but part of my comeback, like you said, is in 07, 08 to play in Flint, to play in Grand Rapids, and to go my first game in Grand Rapids, score a hat trick. I mean, you got to understand, in my life, the good Lord doesn't just tap me on the shoulder. He smacks me over the head with stuff, right? So to me, it was about, okay, I'm more or less, you're on the right track. Keep doing, you're doing the right things. And, and now the difference is between Darren McCarty then or whatever is I received the message and now he only's got a tap. I'm tired of getting beat in the head. Surrender. Surrender's victory.
So I think we just got a couple more questions. Kyle, you got one you want to toss out there before we start talking a little playoff hockey?
Yeah. So, you started the band Grinder as a release for yourself for your mental health. I actually saw you in concert in Battle Creek back in 2003. I was living in Battle Creek and you were coming through. I think it was the Taste of Battle Creek or something. And me and my buddy at the time went and watched your band play. And
right on.
Can you just touch on that a little bit? What that meant to you, having that outlet?
Yeah, what's funny is you said that is that we got the band. We were actually gonna head out last year, but COVID got us. But Billy's back, and Billy Reedy, who's my original guitar player, one of the reasons that started it. But yeah, to me it was like an outlet, writing songs, and I've always journaled and written and stuff like that. But to get around buddies and to be able to do it originally for Vladdy, and it's one of those things, well, D-Mac will do anything. Oh, yeah, what do you want me to do? Okay, well, can you sing? I don't know. No, but I will. And then it's just the passion. And it's funny you bring that up because I remember writing a song called Be Me. Mm-hmm. And when I wrote music back then, and I wrote Moving On, and I wrote Out of Our Heads, 2 albums, I was such an angry place. Like I was such an angry, just lost, and so the Be Me, it goes, why can't it be what I want to be with attitude, no apologies, without compromise, it's my life. You can say what you want to say, put me down if it makes your day in the end. What you see is what you get. You look at me, you want to see what you want to see. I'm just a man I want to be me, right? Now I do that and I end my comedy shows with it. And as a tribute and a thank you to the people for allowing me to be me, to get here. So I'm excited. It just gives me when you're almost 50 years old and you have a band or whatever, you have to understand that you're just doing it so you can help some of your boys get out of the house on the weekend. So sure. It's like, but again, with everything, whether it's comedy, whether it's cannabis, whether it's music, whether it's, the sports, whatever it is, it's about the community. And what you mentioned, Woodward Sports, I do the hook there 3 to 5 every day. You can check it out and love it. That's just why I do that is because when things get out, we're going to be out and about with the people and stuff like that. And that, to me, that's looking at you guys face to face and having these conversations. We're going to be down there, probably out there for draft party. That'll be outside the Joe and stuff like this. It's always a great time. So, just exciting, bro. So yeah. And the one thing about mental health is I don't care how you do it, but you got to get it out of here some way, whether it's to somebody in a paper, burn it, get it out, and understand that you're not alone.
That's such an important message, especially in this day and age. And you calling attention to it, Darren, means a lot. And we appreciate you doing it on the show too, because
I fucked up, bro. So don't worry.
It's all good. It's all good. I didn't ask that, but no, it's all good.
No, I'm openly offering it. It's the truth, but you know what? That's the honesty. But you know what? I know who Darren McCarty, the person is finally, and it's taken a long journey. And I surround myself, with the people that are all about the same things Darren McCarty is. And we're not here to argue. And here's the thing: anybody's welcome. Just leave your BS. If we're not doing it, don't come over near us doing it, because it's going to get ugly.
Sure.
And that's it. And it's to protect everybody else that has dropped it and is vulnerable, right?
Sure.
As you see. And because my job is I'm a protector. I'm meek. Meek shall inherit the earth. I learned what meek was, and I can take direction. But you know what? If it's not right, my heart virtues off, following the truth with integrity, you best believe I'll be standing up for it. So, that's my role. As other people have different roles to give me the information, to make me knowledgeable, and it's for me to put the passion and the work in, no matter what it is. And it's, like all the knowledge that I have is just because I've lived it, and with the Red Wings, with these guys in the situation. So, I mean, if you look around the league, you look at the upper management, look at the Isles. Well, the Isles have taken that New Jersey Devil and the Barry Trotz and the hybrid. You got Sack in Colorado. You got Cam Neely and Don Sweeney. They figured it out in management. And then you got, Stevie figured, like there's different ways to try to build this team. And if you can accept the Yzerplan and know that listen to him and he will show you the path. Sometimes he doesn't know.
Sure.
Right. That's why he'll make you, don't ask him dumb questions. That's all.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes it exciting. Even sometimes it feels like he doesn't. I like it. We could sit here and ask you questions all night, but I want to ask one more question, and then we're going to go to a quick rapid fire to end the show. But I have to ask you, you spent so many years on so many good Red Wings teams, and it made so many memorable playoff runs, and it's such a loaded question, but what's your favorite playoff memory of all time, Darren?
So I was fortunate to be on the ice for the last face-off in the Horn for 97. And to be on the ice when the streamers came out, the fans, the guys off the bench, and my vantage point, it was so loud, it was silent. And for a kid who grew up, who 12 years old, had to go and watch his team skate there, he couldn't skate or whatever, and always wanted to be there, being a fan in the stands. I mean, it was just sort of surreal. I'll always remember that. And I have a picture of me climbing the penalty box because my neighbor was right there and climbing up and celebrating. Well, for my 30th birthday, they got me a 6 foot tall painting of that memory.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah. But again, with the fans.
I do have to ask a quick follow-up question to that, because the end of that game I wouldn't say it got dicey, but of course it was 2-0. It looked like you were going to cruise, and then they get the late goal. So was there any nerves on there, that last shift, that last face-off before?
Well, we never did anything easy. And I sent Eric Lindros a Christmas card every year saying thanks for making his goal, making mine the Stanley Cup clincher. So I'm I'm just saying, like, another God shot. Like, don't mess with me, boys. You guys figured it out. You named the grind, so you guys got into DMAC disciples.
Of course.
I mean, now here's the thing, right? Just keep mulch lubricated. Just have a Bud Light around or whatever, and he'll be your buddy forever. All right? Just tell Drapes he's like the smartest guy. He's smarter than Stevie, and you guys know it. And Stevie, without him, would be nothing. Without him, would be just to butter his bread like that. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Joey, it's always Joey wins. So if you go play golf or poker or anything else, just understand you're just trying for second. That's advice I can give you. I'm getting along with the grind line.
What's the secret to you?
Yeah. What is the secret to you? Good question.
The Darren McCarty brand. Just CBD roll on and feel good. My secret is just, it's just be you.
Mm-hmm.
Be you.
I love
it.
Be
you. And you know what? That's all it is. I'm going to be me. You be you. We're going to agree on some things. We're not going to agree. But at the end of the day, and this is what I tell everybody who I surround myself with, you come with pure intentions, we will get through anything. The minute you don't have it, I will cut your fucking throat.
Great words to live by.
Because you know why? because right, it's the old been there, done that. And now I know, and it's also too is when you see I talk third person because I had to realize that D-Mac and Darren McCarty are two different people.
Sure.
There's a lot of D-Mac and Darren McCarty, there's a lot of Darren McCarty and D-Mac. But D-Mac, the D stands for Dick. And he ain't afraid to step up and tell you, call like he sees him, because he knows what his truth is.
That's awesome.
Hey, and dude, the easiest thing is just it's not like I'm trying to butt in everybody's shit. If you want to do it's like I got buddies that still do whatever else, but they don't do it around me, which is respect.
Sure.
Respect your fellow human being. That's all it is.
That's what it's all about. There needs to be more of that. I think, and that's why I always thought hockey kind of separated itself from the other major American sports, is because of the respect that you see in the rink as opposed to anywhere else. And when you turn the channel, and that always resonated with me as a hockey fan, not even just as a Red Wings fan.
Us Canadians to teach you guys.
I know we need it. We need it.
It's true.
All right, so let's wrap the show. You've spent so much time with us. We really appreciate it. Gonna throw out a rapid fire. I'm gonna go around the horn, so I'll call out names really quick. Testing. Devin, are you back? We got you.
I hope so.
All right, we got you. I think we got you. Poor Devin.
Oh man.
So I got 5 questions. Gonna go around the horn. I'll start and just answer it. No explanation needed. Number 1, best local Coney joint. Mine is Detroit Coney Grill here in Scottsdale. Absolutely love it. Darren?
Lafayette, Coney Island.
I love it. Kyle?
We don't have Coney's out here in Maryland, so I'm going to Lafayette as well.
Devin?
We have a local place called Yesterdog, and it's to die for.
Nice. I will go with next favorite non-hockey sport, and I'm pretty generic here, but I'm going to go football. Mac?
To watch or to play?
Good question. Yeah.
Golf, and NASCAR to watch.
I like it. Kyle?
I'm going golf.
But wrestling's hey, listen, guys. Wrestling's my favorite sport because I never disappoint. Storyline guy, don't have to like it. Right? That's it. Wrestling's the best because it's scripted.
I like it.
There you go. As long as you can enjoy it. So,
Kyle, what was yours?
Golf to play, college football to watch.
Devin?
College football.
There you go. I like it. All right, we got 2 more. Ready? Number 1. Should they being the Red Wings retire Fedorov's number? My answer is yes. Mac?
Yes, but I think it's deeper than just. I think there's personal feelings.
That's fair enough. I won't put you on the hook. Just kidding.
You can put me on the hook. I think you should. I mean, what's the next one you would go with?
Right.
You know
Kyle?
what I'm saying? Like,
so. Yeah, I think he definitely, he needs that respect from the organization. If they can, I think they should.
Devin, bring us home.
Yes.
All right. So there you have it. All right. Last question. And we're not going to answer this. I'm just throwing this one to you, Darren. Is this podcast Darren McCarty approved?
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I like what you guys got going here. I do keep an eye on you from a distance. So, wing wheel nation everywhere. And because here's the thing, right? You got to be part of the grind line. You got to understand is that we got to explain to people our why, and listen, when there's questions to be asked, trust me, I'll be knocking on the door. He's going to treat me like Answer Khan, but I'll still be knocking.
No, nothing but love here. Nothing but love. Like you said, Wing Wheel Nation. We love following you on Twitter. We love following what you're doing with all the different with Woodward and everything else. And honestly, and I'm being serious, truly humbled that you would take some time this evening, take an hour and spend it with us on our humble little show. So
thanks for being hey, you know what? No, hey, dude, it's what I love. And here's the thing, right? It's passion. It's the watching people go after their passion. I don't have to, I've achieved, I put my mind to some. I'm on this other mission, dude. I'm on this weed campaign, because of the truth and everything has gotten me. So you know what? Let's go. So I'm doing that. And in the meantime, because it's something that I believe in and I like supporting, good people. Like I said, you guys are good dudes and I love what you got going. And anytime I can help out and tell it, when you guys don't know the right answer, I will give you the right answer.
Awesome. We're going to hold you to that.
You can debate all you want, but when you want to know the answer, I can tell you the answer.
I like
File
it.
save. We're going to hold you to that.
You know where to find me, boys.
Love it. That's our show. Thank you.
I get chirpy on the Twitter.
That's
we
expect
do,
nothing less. If you,
I see. Listen, I've seen a little tug of the beehive every now and then. A kick of the beehive. Little DMAC question. I get tagged, and you find me in the right mood, and then you get. I love it. because you know what? In all honesty, though, is that because all of you, not just you guys, all of the people out there, Wingwheel Nation, or people that care to learn. Like I said, what do you mean by that? Y'all get the Yzerplan. It's just being patient enough.
Yeah.
It's patience. It's
That's
not
it.
perfection, but progress. So
and
it's exciting.
And it's funny because he called that out in the press conference when he was introduced as general manager. Stevie called that out, and at the time, everybody gets it. But then 2 years goes by and everybody loses that. So totally understood. Absolutely.
Yeah, but he gets it back.
Yep.
See how he gets it back?
Yeah.
And trust me, he ain't afraid to be accountable, because the thing that he said that's the most pointed is the truth. Nobody's gonna outwork him. Like, that's the thing. These guys are sick. I called Jay Talta. What are you watching video? I got this kid over here. All right.
All right. Well, on that.
Seriously, but what do I matter? He just hung up on me anyways.
That's okay. We're gonna call it a night. Thank you, Darren, for joining us. Thank you for watching at home. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow Darren and Woodward Sports as well at Twitter. Really, again, appreciate it, everybody. See you next episode. Thanks for joining.